Hello everyone watching Angel's Morning Call. I'm Tina, and today in this free talk series of videos, I'd like for you to meet the amazing people of Happy Science. And today we have Diane.
Thank you so much, Tina, for having me here. Hello everyone, so happy to meet you today. My name is Diane. I am originally from Ecuador, and I used to go to university in Canada. I like to go for a run, I like to write, I like to read, and I'm so happy to share some of it today with you.
Great, and I'm so happy you came today and to share your story with everyone. Please tell us how you met Happy Science.
Yeah, so I met Happy Science in 2017, about 5 years ago. I was a student in university in Toronto, in Canada. And for some time, like maybe 2 years or so, I was struggling a lot with myself. I had some issues like being depressed or being anxious. And on top of that, I had no idea why I was here. So I was feeling a lot of like overwhelming emotions. There was especially a period in my life where I couldn't do anything at all. I felt like my life was kind of pointless. Like I had no reason to even get up from bed. And there was one week in particular where I would just want to sleep all the time. I'm not kidding, it was all the time. I would just eat like cereal or not take a shower or things like that. But then I remember I was in my bed. I was like taking a nap or something. And something within myself told me very, very loudly, you should get up from bed. You cannot keep living like this. You have to take responsibility of your life, and at the very least, you can go for a grocery shopping. So I did that. Like I felt like, oh, I didn't even think about that. I just did it. And I went to the grocery shop where I usually go. But that day, I remember very clearly, it was a winter day, but it was warmer than usual. So I said, let's go for a walk. I like to walk, actually. So I went for a walk, and to my surprise, there was an office next to the grocery shopping. And outside of that office, there was a table with books on top of it. And I was very curious because, well, first it said free book, and I was a student, so I like to read, so I was very attracted to this book, and it was actually this book, The Laws of the Sun. It felt like some magnetic force, like it was like, read me, read me. So I decided to pick the book, and at the back of the book, well, at that time I was lost. I was very, very lost in life, and I was looking for answers like, why am I here? Like, I used to think that I was kind of an accident, but when I read this book, actually I found many answers here. And in this book it says, why and how did God create this world? What are the universal spiritual laws that shape this world, and how can we live in harmony with them? And for what purpose are we born here, and how can we find true happiness and meaning in life? Just to read this, I was shocked, like, this is exactly what I needed to know. So I immediately grabbed the book, and then I went to buy the groceries and everything. And then when I came back to my place, which by the way was like 5-minute walk or something, it was very close, I started reading this book, and I don't know, the feelings go beyond words. I felt like all the darkness that was surrounding me was just vanished. Like there was only light.
Wow. Then was there a particular seminar that you joined that you were able to have some discoveries or go deeper?
Yeah, there was. When I joined Happy Science, I knew that I was struggling. I was still struggling with myself and like feeling depressed and everything. And well, before that, I had a very materialistic perspective. And I used to go to the doctor and take like medicine or like antidepressants to cure my depression, but that never worked. And I knew it had something to do with my parents. I knew it was some kind of friction between me and my parents that I needed to solve. And I was recommended to take the seminar on gratitude towards my parents. And it completely changed my life. It is never enough. I took it like many, many times, and it's amazing how much love we can still discover every single time. And for the first time, after taking a few times, I could feel like I was loved, that my parents loved me, that I need to be grateful for my environment, and that that's why we are here, right? To train our souls and to find the love of God through all these materials that we have around us.
That's amazing. And did you feel yourself changing after a while, after reading Master's teachings and going to seminars?
Yes,
In
I
what
did.
way?
Well, I think it's been like very large and ongoing process, but one of the things, or one of the turning points in my life is that I could find happiness in my life. Even though nothing around me seemed to change, I could change my perspective about it and feel so much gratitude for all that I am given. Especially the act of having gratitude and discovering love in my life was amazing. One of the things that I realized is that I was kind of inducing depression on myself. I wanted to be depressed. I was in love with happiness. There is actually a book called The Unhappiness Syndrome, and I totally had it. I wanted to, in my thinking, I thought that, okay, my parents don't love me, so at least they can feel sorry for me. So when I realized that I was feeding myself with darkness. And when I realized that I could cut all of that from the root and just fill myself with light, and that made a huge change in my life. I can clearly see a before and after now.
Wow, that's amazing. I want to ask you about Toronto lecture of Master Okavы. Master went to Canada and gave an amazing lecture called The Reason We Are Here. And I believe you were there in the front row.
Yeah, it was one of the happiest moments of my life. When I started reading the teachings, I was so amazed that Master is still here. I can still get to know him sometime. And I was so blessed that in 2018 he went to Toronto and he did this amazing lecture, The Reason We Are Here. I got the chance of reading, sitting in the front row, and I remember how Master, he was looking at all of us with so much love and with so much kindness, and he was giving us the teaching so that we can improve our lives and find meaning and take responsibility. So it was exactly what I needed to hear. I was so happy to see him that day. Yeah,
amazing.
Very loving.
Thank you, Diane, so much for sharing your story. It's a very beautiful story, very inspiring, and we wish you the best of luck in continuing to translate into Spanish. I think there's many, many people waiting for these teachings.
Yes, yes. I totally believe that people will remember these teachings. I think when we learn the truth, we know it's not the first time we learn the truth, and something a candle within ourselves is lit at that moment, and we can finally find our way back to home, to the parent of our soul. So I'm hoping, more people will awaken to it.
That's great. Thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you for having me here.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
See you next time.